You're scrolling through real estate listings at midnight, and every single house that doesn't look like it's about to collapse costs $500,000. The kitchen still has laminate countertops from 2003. The carpet is beige, there's fake wood paneling in the basement, and the listing agent has the audacity to call it a starter home. Meanwhile, you're sitting there doing mental math on your salary, wondering if you somehow missed a massive promotion or if the entire housing market has collectively lost its mind. Spoiler alert, it's not you. It's the math. And the math is absolutely brutal. My name is Nick, and today we're going to do something real estate agents hate. We're going to calculate who can actually afford a $500,000 house in 2026. Not who the bank will approve, but who can legitimately afford it without turning their life into a financial stress simulator. Because there's a massive difference between qualifying for a mortgage and actually being able to sleep at night after you sign the paperwork. Let's start with the uncomfortable reality. In dozens of US markets right now, $500,000 is the baseline. That's not getting you a mansion. That's getting you a 1,200 square foot box with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a yard the size of a beach towel. In cities like Denver, Austin, or anywhere within commuting distance of a major metro, $500,000 is what normal people are expected to somehow come up with for normal houses. The median household income in America is around $84,000. So we're asking people making $84,000 to afford homes that cost 6 times their annual income. If that ratio sounds insane to you, congratulations, you're paying attention. But everyone keeps saying you can do it. The mortgage broker says you're approved. Your parents bought a house on way less. Some influencer on TikTok is flipping houses with no money down. So what's the problem? The problem is that everyone is lying to you about what affordable actually means. Let's start with the down payment, because that's where most dreams go to die. The old rule, 20% down. On a $500,000 house, that's $100,000 in cash. Let me say that again, $100,000. The median savings account in America has around $8,000 in it. So you're not just a little short, you're $92,000 short. And before you say you'll just save it, let's do that math too. If you're making $84,000 a year and somehow manage to save 10% of your gross income, which almost nobody does, you're saving $8,400 per year. At that rate, it will take you 12 years to save the down payment, assuming housing prices don't go up, which they absolutely will. So you skip the 20% down payment. You put down 5% or 10% instead, like most people do. Congratulations, you just unlocked a new expense called PMI, Private Mortgage Insurance. This is the fee you pay every month for the crime of not being wealthy enough to put 20% down. It runs anywhere from $200 to $400 per month depending on your loan. You're paying extra money for insurance that protects the bank, not you. So you're already starting from a position of financial punishment. Now let's talk about the actual mortgage payment. You put down 10%, which is $50,000 you somehow scraped together. That leaves a $450,000 loan. At current interest rates in the 6 to 7% range, your monthly principal and interest lands around $2,750 to $2,850. And that's just the beginning. Add property taxes, roughly $500 per month, homeowner's insurance, another $250 to $350, maintenance, 1% of the home's value per year. On $500,000, that's $4,500 annually, or about $417 per month. Add PMI, let's call it $300. Now add it all up. Mortgage, $2,850. Property taxes, $500. Insurance, $300. Maintenance, $417. PMI, $300. Total monthly housing cost, roughly $4,367. And that's assuming nothing breaks, no new roof, no surprise HOA bill, no emergency repairs. Financial advisors say you shouldn't spend more than 28% of your gross income on housing. Banks approve you up to 43% debt to income. Let's reverse engineer that. If $4,367 is 28% of your income, you need to make about $187,000 per year. Even at 43%, you still need around $150,000 annually. Here's the punchline. Only about 10 to 20% of US households make $150,000 or more. That means 80% of American households cannot comfortably afford a $500,000 house. That's not an opinion. That's math being ruthless. But people are still buying them. Who are they? Some have dual high incomes. Some have family money. Some are stretching so thin that one emergency could collapse everything. Let's look at a real example. Meet the Johnsons. Combined income, $160,000 per year. Upper middle class. Should be comfortable, right? After taxes and deductions, they take home about $9,500 per month. Subtract $4,367 for housing. They're left with $5,133. 2 car payments, $800. Car insurance, $250. Gas, $300. Student loans, $600. Health insurance, $400. Groceries, $800. Utilities, $450. Now they have $1,533 left, and that's before clothing, entertainment, kids' activities, repairs, medical bills, or serious retirement savings. They're spending 46% of their take-home pay on housing, nearly half. And they're not reckless. They're just trying to live in what the market calls normal. What does that feel like? It feels like checking your bank account before buying groceries. It feels like lying awake at 2 a.m. doing math about tires or repairs or braces. It feels like being one unexpected expense away from disaster. At $120,000 income, it's worse. At $100,000, worse. At $84,000, it's not tight. It's impossible. Buying a $500,000 house on median income isn't stretching. It's financial fantasy. And the system doesn't care. Sellers price based on comps. Banks approve at 43%. Agents want the deal closed. Nobody gets paid to protect your peace of mind. Once you sign, you're trapped. You can't walk away without wrecking your credit and losing your down payment. So people stay in houses they can't afford, in jobs they hate, watching savings evaporate. For 70 to 80% of Americans, a $500,000 house is not sustainably affordable. Home prices are up roughly 400% since 1990. Income, about 180%. The math doesn't work. You can't budget your way out of a structural affordability crisis. You can't side hustle your way into a down payment while rent eats 40% of your income. You can't manifest lower interest rates. What you can do is run honest numbers. Maybe you rent and invest the difference. Maybe you look at $350,000 instead. Maybe you wait. There's no trophy for being house poor. The real question isn't whether you can get approved. It's whether owning the house improves your life or just transfers your paycheck to a bank. If your income is under $140,000 and you're looking at $500,000 homes, stop. You're about to sign up for a decade of stress. Month 4, car repairs. Credit card. Month 7, AC dies, financing. Month 9, hours cut, panic. That's house poor. And we've normalized it. Welcome to home ownership. Eat ramen, you're building equity. No, that's financial strain disguised as adulthood. You can choose not to play. Wealth isn't owning a house you can barely afford. It's having margin. It's investing. It's sleeping at night. The bank profits when you buy. The agent profits. The insurer profits. Nobody profits when you say, this doesn't work for me. If you feel priced out, you're not failing. The system is. Run the numbers, be honest, and if the math doesn't work, walk away. There's no trophy for financial misery. Maybe in 5 years your income rises. Maybe prices fall. Maybe you move. But today, for most people, this math is broken. Stop asking what you qualify for. Start asking what you can afford without turning your life into a financial tightrope act. For most people, that number isn't $500,000, and that's okay. Sometimes the smartest move is recognizing when the game is rigged and choosing not to play.